Could do that. That would be a council policy.
I mean, I'm asking from a legal perspective because we've heard a lot of
Well, I think
about
I
it
think,
needing to have the opportunity to comment before the thing
right. There would
happens.
it would provide an opportunity to comment before, and so that would eliminate at least that argument.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll open this up for public comment. So this is item 12B, consideration of updates to the City Council Rules of Conduct, and we're starting in the chambers for this one. Mr. Barich.
Thank you, Mayor. For the benefit of the folks at home, I'm former Councilman George Barich. As to Councilwoman Sparks' comment about how long these meetings are getting to and so forth, I have some concerns about this. Look, you folks signed up for this job. If it's a little too long for you, a little too strenuous, I think maybe you should reconsider. Number two, it's completely hypocritical to say in your announcements that you love to hear from people, yet the meetings are going a little long. So which is it? Do you love to hear from people or not? Because that's really where Mrs. Sparks is actually addressing here, is the underlying issue of, do you want to indoctrinate the public or do you want to engage the public in a democracy? It's the Democrats that are always complaining that we're going to lose democracy. Well, hell, you guys are doing a sure good job trying to do just that with something like this. And these ceremonial items that you say are ceremonial, you know, the other flip side of this is that it's brainwashing. You keep ceremonializing these items and you refuse public comment, it turns into a brain massage, okay, in the spirit of Karl Marx. And if that's where you want to go, you're going to open up a can of worms. And it has been the mayor who has been disruptive at these meetings. When simple issues and questions such as, can I speak or not? Yes or no, go on for a minute, who's to blame? Just trying to preserve my rights, make my case for future litigation. It's really easy, but this drama, this theatrics of trying to browbeat people, I think is going in the wrong direction. Now, any new rules will no way trump our government code or our state constitution, so be very careful. You've been browbeaten and scolded by 2 federal judges now. Boy, a 3rd judge is going to have to read both those cases and look at this too. Not really advisable for the city council. Last, regarding rules, we have a standing rule right now that's been going on for many years that the citizens themselves can't use any AV equipment here to make our point, to bring information to the council that the staff is not bringing to you as they massage the facts and give you all their propaganda. The citizens have been unable and not authorized to use any of the equipment. Now, this goes back some 15 years or so when we first requested, where Damien had said, or Diane Thompson had said that, no, we can't put a disk into our laptop. We could catch a virus. Well, maybe so. How about hooking up my own laptop and just hooking into the projector? Oh, no, can't do that. Okay? See where they were going? They want censorship. I would suggest to add to these policies is you have a hookup here for an HDMI connection so people can project their evidence and their photos for the benefit of the council on these projectors. Because without doing so, you're really hogging the technology. And you are actually just indoctrinating people and denying us another form of free speech. Our evidence, our videos, our photographs are worthy of your consideration. Right now, we're being denied.
Thank you. Anybody else in the chambers?
Michael Hilber, It sounds like you're trying to reinvent the wheel from scratch with regard to how to craft an agenda. I mean, why can't you just look at what Santa Rosa does and see if you find that acceptable, or the county? Like I said, you know, number 9 is inappropriate to lump comments on consent and non-agenda items under your jurisdiction into just one item. That should be separate, like the other government entities do. And finally, I've come to realize what this business on number 15, public comment on non-action agenda items, is. So finally, I understand what that's getting at. And yes, indeed, I would agree that public's got a right to comment on, you know, city council member reports, and it should come after those are made, so that they can give input to what they have heard, not before they're given, but after, so they have an opportunity to object to what may have been put on the record if they find it objectionable or whatever, because county supervisors and city council members, they attend the meetings of, you know, the MTA, and Jake McKenzie was at, you know, the Transportation Commission and doing all kind of strange stuff down there. So if a council member is going to give a report on what they did on one of these other bureaucracies and trying to put a bond issue together that's going to affect us, you know, people should be able to comment on that after it's said. Case in point would be the Bay Area housing bond, which, what was that, $10 billion or something? It was some cooked up thing with regional that would go all the way to San Jose and be sticking us with a, you know, a bond issue tax on our property tax that was cooked up, you know, with, you know, McKenzie and Rabbit and some of these other people in meetings they attended out of the county. And so if they're going to, you know, be doing that sort of thing, they should report to the people of the county that they're doing nonsense outside the county that's going to, you know, stick it to us. So, yeah, people have a right to comment on that too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Ford, I object to your city manager's attempt to double down on your violation of Government Code and his denigration of a citizen who was simply standing up for his rights under the Brown Act. I quote his erroneous biased statements from his staff report. Number 1, quote, the disruptions and delays were due to an individual, end quote. To quote former Mayor Bob Coleman, what am I, invisible? I was up here pointing out the same thing and disrupting supposedly your meeting by trying to point out the actual law and quoting it to you. Number 2, quote, disrupts the proceedings, end quote. To repeat, insisting on following the law is not disruption. Number 3, your attorney insisting the guidelines are valid simply because you passed a resolution saying that this is the rules that you're going to follow. If they're inconsistent with the Brown Act, they're wrong. What your attorney is telling you, he's doing this under the assumption or on the basis that these guidelines that you're saying that you have action items and non-action items, the Brown Act doesn't say you have action items and non-action items. It says there are items. If they're listed on the agenda, they're on the agenda. Number 3, quote, insisting that the mayor open public comment during the non-action procedure on ceremonial items, a roll call, end quote. The comment I have on this is no one, and I asked Mr. Barich if he had ever said anything about the roll call. No one has ever asked to speak to the roll call, so why did Mr. Obid even put this in there? It is an item on the agenda, but very few people are going to comment on it. Number 4, Mr. Obid then doubles down on stupid by repeating your illegal stance about addressing concerns over agendized items, clearly identified and qualified under Government Code as open to public comment before or during their consideration, not at some later time and date justified under your illegal and flawed council guidelines. Agenda items are agenda items, as I just said, whether an action or not, and your published agenda contradicts on my previously mentioned item 8, where the public is allowed to speak to action items, and saying this might be an action item doesn't excuse your responsibility to take comment on it. And I know I've already made that comment, but I wanted to reinforce it. Then this thing, the proper time to bring these things up is during the consideration of this item, the procedural guidance. It's not on the agenda all the time, so how are we supposed to bring it up? That doesn't even make any sense. Now, I'd like to briefly comment on Ms. Sparks' comments. You know, if we hadn't wasted all the time, if you hadn't sat there and taken this bad advice from your attorneys, Mr. Ford, we could have gone through this whole meeting in probably half the time because there wouldn't have been anybody objecting to this stuff. Now, Mr. Obid should be added to those who should be fired for giving you bad advice, as I said about your city attorney the last time I spoke.
Your time has ended, sir.
May I have just a few more seconds to finish?
Please wrap up the sentence. Yes.
I'm
thank
sorry?
you. Please wrap up the sentence you're on. Yes, thank you.
I'm sorry, I can't understand you.
Please wrap up the
Yes, I will.
sentence you are on.
Okay,
Thank you.
because I want to make my point about this item specifically. There's no reason to eliminate any of these items. From what I gather, you essentially will be giving in to Mr. Barich by removing the land acknowledgement. Either you believe in the
Thank you, sir.
statement or you don't.
That is
The pledge,
considerably over your 3 minutes.
rather Marxist,
Thank
if you ask me. I also have a problem with your using Rosenberg's Rules of Order if this is going to
Sir,
prevent
you
the
are well
public
over your
from
time.
interrupting rather than disrupting your meeting to point out a problem or give you information by way of point of information or point of...
Please take your seat, sir. Anybody else in the chambers? Okay, thank you. We'll close that public comment, bring it back to council for discussion. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to. I thought we started with Zoom. Anybody? Zoom?
Point of privilege.
Yes.
Somebody delivered a package during all that, and they gave me a wave, and
Okay.
I can't do anything about it.
It's being
so-
attended to.
Okay,
Thank you.